Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Skylar and I'm not a good reseller. And in today's video I want to go over some of the things that I bought this weekend to sell on eBay. And we'll go over, the things that I thought were the best sellers, the things that I thought that I bought probably ended up being a mistake. We'll see how it goes, and I'll kind of tell you like what value I think each of them will get on eBay based on my recollection of what I saw in the sold comps while I was shopping. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and go over kind of just your standard stuff that I found I put on the rack here. Alright, first up, so it's a pair of Wrangler pants, and normally I don't pick up like Wrangler jeans and stuff like that, but when I looked up, these are kind of like outdoors hiking kind of pants, and I looked up the Wrangler nylon, and these had some pretty good sell rate. Yeah, so I went ahead and picked them up, and they were only like, normally at this particular church thrift store things are pretty cheap. This one was, normally the pants are $2, like we're talking cheap, so it was like 30% off. I guess they were celebrating Mother's Day or something like that, and yeah, so I got it for like a little under, we'll just say $2 for the sake of this video. So yeah, $2, and I think it was around, kind of like that $18 mark. If I remember, for these items, I'll put up in the corner over here, this dead space over here, what the kind of some of the sold comps, what I expect to kind of put it at, or what I might list it at, I'll put up over here. So yeah, Wrangler pants. Alright, and we'll stick to the pants. I think these ones were a little more exciting. I think it was kind of like the same value, but the sell-through rate was a lot better. Man, I'm trying to think what... Oh, Mountain Khaki. Right. Brand is Mountain Khaki pants. So, unfortunately, I bought this at the Goodwill. $5 is their pants for this Goodwill. But yeah, kind of falling in line with those Wrangler ones I just showed you. So yeah, Mountain Khaki is the brand. First time I've ever bought them, so I'm giving them kind of a shot. But yeah, so like I said, they had pretty decent sell-through rates as far as I'm concerned, so figured I'd take a chance on a brand that I haven't tried before. Alright. Okay. I think on these ones I'm going to need to clean them up just a little bit. So yeah, everything that I'm kind of showing you, I haven't like clipped off the price tags, I haven't like cleaned them up, got them all nice and ready to list, so. But, I mean, as you guys can probably see just by looking at some of the stuff that I'm holding up, like there's not really much work to be put into getting these prepped. So I'm trying to be better about that, trying not to buy, I mean, I used to buy some like Goodwill bins, like cheap shoes, that there would be a lot of like cleanup involved, and yeah, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I got them for $2 or $3 or whatever, so it's totally going to be worth putting all that effort in to clean them up and get them all nice and sold. I did that for like Asics and stuff like that. Then it ended up the shoes don't sell for much, they weren't in the best condition, so, and I put all that work to get them all cleaned, so who knows, not a good reseller, right? So yeah, so Levi jeans, they do sell, they just don't have that much like value. Usually for me, like the Levi jeans, particular ones that I buy, I usually end up selling them for like $15. And of course everything I sell, calculated shipping, the buyer's going to pay for that. So, but yeah, so these are Levi 560s, and I spent, this is at the same church thrift store where the pants were $2. So yeah, that's another reason why. So yeah, the Levi jeans, although they don't have much value, they do sell. So if you can get them cheap, why not? And I think for the Levi's, at least for me, it's like the $5.50 and up is usually what I try to get. Those ones just do better in my personal experience. So set those aside. And yeah, I think I've only sold one pair of women's jeans ever. It was like Cowgirl Tough jeans. I try to just stay away from the women's department for clothing for right now. if I'm desperate, I'll go over and try to scrounge up some merchandise over there, but we're not doing that bad yet, guys, all right? All right, and speaking of Levi, as soon as I said it, right, guys? So yeah, another pair here. Very familiar with that tag. So yeah, same thing. There must have been another pair there. Somebody probably just getting rid of all their clothes. These are $5.50 Levi jeans. Yeah, that's the other thing that I kind of like about jeans, is that, you know, you can they're kind of easy to tell if what condition they're in whenever you first look at them. They're not, just give them a once over, and you kind of know what you're buying whenever you're looking at it. So yeah, so you can look at this. Oh, they're in good condition. I'll be able to get them. So yeah, and probably with clothes specifically, I've mentioned it before, where I've heard from other resellers, the money is made at the buy. I mean, that's like 100% clothing in terms of like it coming back to slap you in the face, because at the buy, that's where you like kind of make all your mistakes for the clothes, because while you're buying it, that's the time that you take to look it over as much as you can on the condition. Anything that comes out later was because you didn't do your job when you were buying to make sure that they were going to be a pair that were going to be worth selling. So just in terms of condition. So yeah, make sure as you're buying it, you give them a really thorough once over. But yeah, so expect to sell it for around $15, pay $2. All right. So, yeah, we got another pair of pants over here, but let's spice it up a little bit, right? So, let's go over, you know what, for fun, let's do probably what I would consider the worst buy that I made for the weekend. And that would be these pair of men's Allbirds. So if you've seen my videos in the past, I like Allbirds. I think they're great. Just in terms of reselling, I've never actually worn them. But yeah, so I paid up for these because this is like the first time I've ever sold men's Allbirds. And at least from what I've seen on eBay, you kind of get a little more bang for your buck for the men's. So like, I've kind of had luck where I was selling in the low 20s for the women's. I feel like I can get low 30s for the men's. But paid $15 for these guys. Yes, I'm an idiot and I'm not a good reseller. And worst of all, and I knew this buying them, I don't know why I do this, guys. It's just what we do as resellers, You can't you can't say that it's all just me. Trust me, I know some of you guys do this too. But there's no insoles. So not only did I pay up $15 for shoes that are going to sell in the low 30s, but they don't even have insoles. So that means that it's not going to be the most, sought after version that's probably listed. So definitely screwed up a little bit there. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling. All right, probably another one that, you just get excited looking at certain brands. And you think, oh, well, that's a pretty popular brand. It'll probably sell eventually or something, Probably won't end up being a bad buy. So, pretty nice jacket. It's a Boeing jacket. So, pretty cool. I bought it for $5. But, of course, who wants to buy a jacket now? And whenever I saw the Boeing, sold, it was kind of all like the cool pilot looking jackets or, fancy stuff like that. It wasn't really the stuff that kind of looks like, no joke, like another jacket I bought, that style. So it's not even like a uniquely Boeing, when you see this, it doesn't necessarily scream Boeing. But I saw Boeing and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go and buy it. It has a little bit of logo right there. So, yeah, didn't necessarily took a chance, just probably not a good buy. So yeah, this one's definitely got in the running for Allbirds for the worst buy that I did. All right, enough of this, you know, talking myself down and all that stuff. Oh, I did terrible buys, I did terrible buys. Let's just, you know, let's raise it up a little bit, okay? And people that have seen my past videos, familiar with this one. You can see it, probably not because it's dark on dark. Untucked shirt. So yeah, I spent $5 on this. I don't mind spending $5 for an untucked shirt. These things sell really well for me. So I'm going to keep selling them, you know, until the luck turns around. You know, hey, if they're selling for me and I can make my money on it and it's a quick flip, you know, I'll go ahead and do it. No problem. Condition looks great. Untuck it. All right, now this is a brand that I've heard is really good. This is the first time I've ever bought it. I have seen it, but whenever I saw the shirts, they weren't in the best condition. So this is the first time that I've seen a shirt in the condition that is acceptable for this brand for me. Johnny O, guys, Johnny O. So yeah, Johnny O long sleeve shirt, kind of like a purple, coral, pink kind of color to it. And yeah, I don't know what the Goodwill was doing, but they put a $6 price tag on that. But like I said, I'm willing to experiment on the brand. So if it don't sell quick and doesn't have that good value, then yeah, I'm not going to get that brand again. So yeah, but I mean, that one was looking probably like low 20s maybe. We'll see how it goes. And then the Untucked shirt in the 20s as well. All right. I mean, I just bought it for myself, guys. I'm pretending that I bought this to sell, and I will put it up to sell. But when it eventually doesn't sell, I'll probably end up keeping it. South Pole, which I don't even remember if I took out in the video of what I edited. But yeah, South Pole isn't really a good shirt brand to sell unless it has like the characters on it. So, but I mean, this is kind of, whenever I think South Pole, like this is kind of the style that I remember South Pole looking. So kind of a little nostalgia for me. All right, let's go ahead and finish that jean, get it off the rack there. Okay. So yeah, a little bit, you know, familiar brand, but never sold jeans of them. So we'll see how it goes. Timberland jeans. Paid $5 for these. Now, I don't necessarily know if it was a good sign or a bad sign, but it was at the Goodwill half off. So yeah, not too hopeful on that one, but like I said, you know, let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, let me think here. Okay. All right, so I wanted to mention this. I don't know exactly what to call it. Maybe you guys can leave a comment down below and give me a good name for them. But I kind of want to call them like my jump starters or something like that. But yeah, we'll just call them jump starters for right now. So, you know, and if no one has a term for it, let's come up with one and coin it, guys. You know, right here, right now. Let's make the term for what these are called for resellers. So these particular items that I have down here, they're just shoes for this week. But these are what I'm going to call jump starters. And these are the kind of items where there's pretty much no prep in getting them ready. They're pretty much ready to go to list. And it kind of just helps motivate to jump start your week to get things listed. So, you know, if I'm sitting here and I'm looking at a pile of things and, you know, a lot of them need work to get ready to get listed, I'm not going to be motivated to list them all, guys. So, you know, it's good to have a few items that you bought to, you know, where there's not much work to be involved in getting them listed. So this way you're like, okay, I'll start with those. I'll start with the easy ones first. We'll get the easy ones out of the way. Then that'll motivate me to get my work week started and do the harder stuff later in the week. So we jumpstart our listing week. Now, yes, that could just be an item that you bought and it's going to end up being a good flip. That could be the motivation, whatever. The reason why I'm calling these kind of their own separate thing is because I paid a little more than I probably would have just because they are in that jumpstart category. So here's two good examples here. So two really great condition. All you gotta do is take the sticker off and just put some alcohol on the label there to get it off. Fantastic condition, no prep at all. But you know, each of these pairs were 15 bucks, 15 bucks, 15 bucks. And there's not really much meat on the bone for profit there. So, you know, in the end, these will probably sell for 25 a piece, maybe a little more, because these are really good for the size. They have like that extra wide. That's really good. So, we'll see. But yeah, I want to call those jump starters. Yeah, I paid a little more, but the condition that they're in, and they're the type of item that's going to get me motivated to list the other stuff that is more profitable. So, yeah. All right, and then there's a couple more pair of shoes down here that I got that are pretty good. Kind of paid the same amount, but they have kind of more value. They're kind of in like the mid-30s. First one here, and this is hilarious. I mean, just looking at it, I'd say this is probably the whitest pair of shoes I've ever seen. And I've seen like the Red Wing. I forget what the size is called, but I've seen like the whitest Red Wing, and I feel like this beats it. But yeah. So SAS, kind of like the Tripad Comfort, hook and loop, not Velcro, hook and loop. And yeah, the size 13 WWW. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but I mean, these shoes are like so wide, it like deforms the whole like shoe and how it looks. That's how wide they are. It's crazy. But yeah, saw them, had to have them, spent 15 bucks, should sell for like the mid-30s. All right, and then this brand's becoming a little more popular with me just because whenever I see how much they sell for, it is that mid-30s. To me, that's kind of the sweet spot for shoes, like in terms of like where I would like it to be, where I can spend $10 to $15 and I can end up selling them for like the, you know, $30 to $40 range. You know, kind of that like Harry Tornado sweet spot. We all know that he pays a little bit more for his shoes, but you know, he goes to the flea market and can source them relatively with ease. You know, I wouldn't mind that. Sounds like a good kind of deal that he's got going on there. So yeah, these, oh, spoke a little too soon, guys. Spent $10 on these, and these ones should be, like I said, around the 30 to 35 range. Rockport. I like how I said all of that, but I didn't even mention what brand it was. I apologize. But yeah, these are Rockports. Can't really get the version of them. But yeah, just Rockports. Rockports in general have some pretty good value. Their shoes are kind of a little more valuable. If you see like the Vibram, obviously that'll probably be a good sign that they're good to pick up. But yeah, great condition. Fantastic. I mean, these are, like I said, the only reason that I'm not classifying this and those SAS brand shoes as jump starters is just because these are just straight up like we're like right on the money of where I kind of want it to be. You know, spend $10 to $15 and double my money, you know, kind of situation. So like you're not necessarily, you know, biting the bullet to get the week started, you know, so. All right. Okay, so let's put the clothes and shoes aside. I do have a few more, but let's put that aside. Let's incorporate some of the other stuff that I've bought. So, yeah, it's kind of been mostly clothes and shoes. I would say, like, in terms of my store, if you saw my store, it is probably mostly clothes and things like that. That's kind of what I source. But hey, you know, I just kind of go where the money is. I really go to, like, excuse me. But yeah, I do really go to like the majority of the departments at the thrift stores, and this is kind of what I end up with. And you know, some weeks you'll see me coming in with like a receiver, or VHS, DVD player, something like that. So, you know, it isn't just going to be all clothes. It will be like, you know, 60, 70%. That's just how it goes. And yes, I think that rhymed. So, let me go over here. I'll stand here and try to post over there. So first up is this Canon Pixma ink. And I think the comps are looking at like just over 10 bucks, and I spent $2 on it. And then this over here is a Microsoft kind of power adapter. And this was spent $2, surprisingly at Goodwill, only 2 bucks. I've seen some of the Goodwills charging up to like $4 for it. It's a little ridiculous. But yeah, and I mean, it's just kind of like your standard little plug there. So I have one of those I could just put in there. And yeah, this goes for like the low 10s. But I mean, as you guys know on my channel especially, you know, the cables, like, you know, it's easy. You just take a few pictures, clean it up a little bit. There's really nothing to it. Okay. And then here we have a remote to a Hampton Bay fan. Pretty cool. So, you know, hey, somebody has a fan and they lost the remote. They're going to need a replacement. So yeah, this is the spend $1, should sell in the low 10s. Jeez. I mean, this one's almost silly. But yeah, so these are just like shoe insoles. Spent $1.50 on them, and it looked like they were like sold for like $9, like $8-9, guys. But I was thinking to myself that, you know, hey, worst case scenario, I could like sell these with a shoe. You know, increase the value there. Maybe just get my $1.50 out of it if they don't end up selling. It has a really good sell-through rate, guys. But it's just, you know, is the money there? It's kind of a low-dollar item. And unfortunately, this box is open, so. Okay. All right. Now, this item can potentially be the worst item that I bought this week. But also, it could potentially be a good item. Why is that? Well, inside, it was half off day of this estate sale, so I only spent $9 on this. But yeah, Panasonic Lumix, there we go, DMC-ZS8 camcorder. Has the battery too, and this little generic case. But no charger, and the camcorder is dead. Sorry, the camera is dead. So I don't actually know if it works or not. Now, the physical condition of it looks great, but I don't know if it's working. The sell-through rate was crazy. It was like 200%. I mean, it was like it was one of those scenarios where it was, you know, there's 30 listed and there's 70 sold. Like, it was ridiculous. So I was like, I can't pass this up. I'm going to take the risk. Probably regret it. And when it comes to like those type of cameras, if it's one that has like double A batteries are like what the camera uses, and I don't have access to actually like open and inspect it, I'll just stay away. I'll just be like, nope. I've had too many cameras where the batteries were corroded and it just completely destroys the camera. I'm not going to take the risk. So unless I can physically look in that battery compartment and make sure that it's not corroded or has any damage or anything, I'm not going to, you know, that's the only way I'll buy it, is if I can check it. And, you know, with these ones, you know, this one has like those square batteries, you know, you just chuck it, replace it with a new one, so. All right. All right, so I have a few things over here that I would consider. So I have a few things over here that I would consider to be the best items that I bought for the week. And let's go over that now. So this right here is an iPad Pro smart keyboard that I bought at a Goodwill. I looked inside. It's in great condition. Box is in fantastic condition. And I only paid $8 for it at a Goodwill. Somebody basically priced this, you know, with the keyboards, you know, computer keyboards or generic computer keyboards. I'm fine with that. I love that. You know, that's awesome. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. But yeah, so I spent $8 on this, and it looked like it was kind of like in the $50 range, maybe a little more, depending on the color. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I was super excited when I saw this. And I don't know about you guys who shop at like the thrift stores, not so much like the yard sales and things like that, but at the thrift stores, if you're like me, you find something like this, right? You set it in your cart, and you guard that cart with your life. All right, that's just how it goes. You find that treasure, you find that whatever it is, that high ticket item, you put it in your cart and you guard it. You know, that's just how it goes. And then the thrill of just protecting it and making sure nobody steps on it while you're trying to shop, it's crazy. You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't think that I'm crazy. All right. Now, this one's probably the most ridiculous thing I bought in terms of, you know, gonna have to get it shipped. It's probably gonna be a pain in the butt. We'll see how it goes. A little silly. So, it's this Logan compact mat cutter. And this was another kind of like the camcorder. Keep saying camcorder. Like that camera I bought, where, you know, it was like, had 20 listings and had more sold than listed. So, and at least according to this, and it's a church thrift store, so hopefully they're not lying, or else you know who's looking out. But yeah, so complete like new, extra new blades, extra new. Now, I'm not going to put that in my eBay reselling listing. I'm not going to put extra new. That's ridiculous. But I'm assuming that they mean that there's extra blades that are in new condition. So, but yeah. So it was half off, because this is kind of a big bulky thing. It's kind of particular. I think it's like for crafting. It's a mat cutter. You know, obviously I just said that. So yeah, you know, you got to find that particular. If you're doing a normal storefront, you got to wait till that particular person comes in that's going to want your stuff. You know, it's not as easy as an online business sometimes. So yeah, this was half off. So I only paid $12.50 for it. And the comps were looking at about like 40-ish bucks. And like I said, supposedly the sell-through rate's amazing, so we'll see how it goes. All right, and let's continue with some shirts here. And also some jackets. So this one's exciting because, well, so I think I saw a shirt once of the brand, but that was it, surprisingly. And I think it's because I'm here in Florida, so, you know, kind of makes sense that you're not seeing this brand. But at the same time, it's like, you know, people move and retire here, so stuff like that. So it's like, sometimes these brands slip through the cracks. And I finally found and purchased my first REI brand clothing, guys. So yeah, an REI sweater. It is a sweater, but still. Great condition sweater, REI. I'll take it. And this is, like I said, you know, but I mean, hey, it is that time of year. Who's going to buy it? So yeah, it was half off, so I spent $2.50 on it. And keeping up with the jackets, here's another one. And I don't see this brand a lot either. And it wasn't the same store. It was a different store. Another church thrift store, but not the same store, guys. So yeah, it's a woman's small North Face jacket. It's funny because it has like a similar style to the one I bought. It's, you know, it has like this blue. I didn't know what to call it my dad asked me to describe it. But you know, I kind of described it to him like the fabric is like a towel. So yeah. Right here, not bad. And I spent, let me double check, $2. Not bad. Okay, just a few more shirts to go, guys. Alright, so with this brand, kind of another experimental brand, I've sold a shirt, or not a shirt, sorry. I've sold a hat from this company and it sold well. Like, it sold fast, it sold for a good amount of value for a hat. So I saw this, I looked at the comps, it looked, you know, good enough for me to try it out. And I believe it's a women's shirt, but black clover is the brand. Just kind of a standard shirt, so that's what has me kind of a little worried on it. Although it does say "Live Lucky" on the back, so, and it's got a little, you know, lucky charm there. So yeah, we'll see how much that goes for. I'm thinking around the $15 range, if I had to guess. Man. Sorry, guys, I keep forgetting to mention what price I think they'll go for. You know, this is the first video that I am making of my hauls, so bear with me as I try and sound coherent and knowledgeable on certain things. So yeah, we'll just say 15, probably 15 for the North Face, 15 for the REI. Like I said, you know, I don't really see those brands, so I'm not too familiar, so kind of just showing you guys. Like, I pretty much finished my shopping this morning, and it's the afternoon. I'm kind of going over everything I sold, so I don't really necessarily remember what I saw. I just knew that when I, you know, saw the price and what I could get for it, I was like, oh, it's good enough for me to get it. So, all right. So, I've sold a couple of this brand in the past, and I don't really remember too much of what I sold it for, but they were in really great condition. They look pretty cool, so I went ahead and did it anyways. So, golf shirt, Callaway Opti-Dry. And I believe it wasn't too bad on the sell-through rate. So, yeah, that's one of them. And like I said, most of the clothes stuff that I'm showing you guys, like, for the most part, get the wrinkles out and it's ready to list. Like, it's really easy. Yeah, you have to take quite a few photos, front, back, take a picture of the tags, take a picture of the size tag, things like that. And then, of course, be ready. If you don't do measurements, be ready for someone to ask you what the measurements are. So, but yeah, most of the time, the clothing stuff is easy. Shoes are, you know, shoes take a little time to clean up if you get dirtier ones. But, you know, it's pretty easy to do in terms of listing and things like that, you know. Okay, so yeah, here's another one, Callaway Opti-Dry golf shirt. These were just $2 a piece at my thrift store, so, you know, $2 is like cheap enough. Yes, if it was $1, I'd be going, whoa, 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 you know what I mean? But $2, I know I've sold the brand in the past, so I'm willing to give it a shot. All right, let's go over some of the other ones that are kind of questionable, and then we'll finish off strong. So if you've made it this far, you're going to be rewarded in a little bit with some of the probably the crazy finds that I found. If you're into clothes and shoes, sorry. Okay, so anyways. But yeah, if you're here for something that isn't clothes and shoes, goodbye, have a good one, leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, so yeah, New Balance 519. These ones, you know, I was just a little crazy, guys. You know, I was just a little spend crazy. $15 for these ones. I think these ones are a little more, guys. I think these were like the $30. They're in good shape, just need a little cleanup. So these aren't jump starts. You know, these are just your normal standard shoe wear. You know, this is pretty much realistically what you aim for whenever you go and buy shoes. You know, you have shoes, you look, the treads are really good, they're a little dirty, could use a little cleanup, but once that's done, they're gonna look great. So yeah, bought these for $15 and should sell for $25, $30. Okay. All right, and then here we got Merrell shoes. Like I said, kind of, although these ones just where the treads are, it's a little dirty, but everywhere else it's in really good condition. Spent $15 on these. It kind of is in that same price point, $25 to $30. And that's the other thing too that might make me consider getting the shoes that are like the Merrell, like that 618 New Balance shoes that I bought, where, you know, they're a little dirty, maybe not the best money, is that, you know, I already bought 5 pairs of shoes. So I already know that this week I have a, you know, a schedule to get shoes cleaned up. You know, in my work week, there's going to be some time I'm going to have to set aside to clean shoes. So if I'm already in the process of going to have to clean some shoes, I may as well get some more shoes to clean up. You know what I mean? All right. And speaking of shoes, first time I've seen this brand, saw it. When I looked it up on eBay, knew I had to have it. All right. So yeah, these, I'm pretty sure they said that they're firefighter shoes when I look them up on eBay. I say these are like firefighter shoes. Thorogood is the brand. Thorogood boots. Yeah. So I bought these for 20, and I mean these would probably go up for like 80 bucks. So not bad, not bad. Oh. And kind of like a side joke here. So while I was shopping, I saw quite a bit of on clouds that were in really bad. Never mind. Cut this part out if I remember, because I see Hokas that have really bad treads, and those are actually good shoes. Okay. All right. So now I was at a thrift store and found some surprisingly good jean brands. All right, got them all bundled up here to build up suspense and to cause confusion for myself. Okay, here we go. All right. So I have one of these, I believe, still active, but the price I probably have a little high. Like I'm commanding like, you know, high 20s. And I think there was like a flaw with it on the badge on the back, so, you know, that's why it hasn't sold in my head. Okay, hold on, let me go. Yep. So, first one is silver jeans, guys. Silver jeans. Anyone who does pants, jeans brands knows this one, right? So yeah, these were in fantastic condition. Spent $5, or no, sorry. So at this particular, surprisingly, guys, wow, I just pieced this together. Surprisingly, now it was like the 10% off or something for that day, but still, as crazy as it sounds, the church thrift store that I bought these jeans, just for the jeans, they have other stuff that's greatly priced. For jeans, they're charging $6 a pair of jeans, guys. That's crazy. That is more expensive than what I pay at the Goodwill to get my jeans. A little crazy. But yeah, so yeah, $6, but when you hear these brands, if you know your jeans, you're going to be all like, yeah, that was still good. So yeah, silver jeans, great condition, bought for $6, should sell from the low 20s. All right. And first time I bought this, first time I've heard of it, and it turned out they had really good sell-through. Solo jeans, Solo basic jeans. So yeah, these are kind of the big, I think this probably falls in the line with if you ever heard somebody say like Y2K, a big boy baggy jean kind of things. That's probably what this falls in line with. But yeah, Solo jeans. Got a cool little badge there. Yep. So yeah, same store for this one. The other pair of silver jeans I showed you, and then the next pair that I'm going to go over. But yeah, should sell in that low 20 mark. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the last of the stuff that I bought. So this is the wrapping up the end of my haul here. Cody James jeans. Cody James jeans, guys. So from what I've seen, they're a good men's jeans brand to be on the lookout for. Bought for $6, should sell for the low 20s. Okay. All right, now, I mean, come on. So now, all right, so now, as all of us resellers know, that's the stuff that I bought for reselling. Now, you can't be expected to do all that shopping and not get something for yourself, right? So yeah, I bought a few things. A little ridiculous. So yeah, now this you guys won't get for a while. But it's kind of funny they had like this little gavel. So that'll be in a future video. I already know what video it's going to be for, but I'm not going to share that. So yeah, future video there. And then, okay, I know I said that those brands of jeans was going to be your reward for watching the end of this video. You got an even bigger reward, guys. So I found the shirt that I'm going to be wearing for the Media Mail Police videos. Here it is. You know, because of course I got to look kind of like a mailman or something, right? So yeah, just got this shirt here. So this will be kind of like the shirt that I wear for those videos. So something to look forward to. Alright, guys. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you got some kind of like ideas of things to be on the lookout for, or just interested in getting a little bit of an insight of how I source things and my kind of like logic going through like the money that I spent on it, why I spent that, if I feel like it was a good buy or not. And yeah, pretty fun filming this. So if you guys enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next video.